the tallying station was arrived following a ban of strangers in schools owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is as the electoral body writes to flower farms in Naivasha to allow their workers to also participate in the hotly contested Hell's Gate ward by election slated, or rather they are going to be happening today. So will they adhere to that? Let's look at the issues of what is happening, just to give you an overview of what we are saying in as far as the litmus test, political, popularity test as it is. This is a report by Timothy Kipnusu.
It's all systems go for the Kapchai by-election this Thursday, with the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission putting its arms in order for the much-awaited race. IBC Commissioner Ali Sura says the commission has changed the tallying center from Nalondo Boys High School to Mabanga Agricultural Institute following the Ministry of Education directive that all schools are out of bounds for any strangers in a bid to curb the spread of the coronavirus.
We are only left with the actual balloting and final tallying and declaration of results. All other preliminary processes preceding the voting are concluded.
Speaking after dispatching materials to various polling stations, Sura urged the electorate to ensure they follow public health regulations while exercising their rights of voting a candidate of their choice. Kabuchai has 57,640 voters with 224 polling stations. Meanwhile, IBC has written to flower farms in Naivasha to allow their workers to participate in the Hell's Gate ward by-elections tomorrow. According to returning officer David Mbui, they have received all the required paperwork and materials for the ward that has over 24,000 registered voters and 41 polling stations.
The materials are here, including the ballot papers. We have arranged them, so we're just waiting for the POs in the afternoon to come and pick the materials.
Naomba Mungu sana. Unajua mtu huwa anajiombea, naomba Mungu sana ushindi tu, na najitakia ushindi. Na kama sitapata, mimi nitakubali tu.
In the meantime, all is set for Kiamakama ward by-elections in Kisii County, with the electoral body saying it was ready to handle the over 10,000 registered voters in 22 polling stations in tomorrow's exercise.
We have also managed to make arrangements with the relevant polling stations. They'll be covered in terms of water. We'll have sufficient water availed in all the polling stations. So voters will have to sanitize, they'll have to wash their hands before they proceed.
IBC has in meanwhile slated 18th May 2021 as the date for Garissa senatorial by-election, Bonchari and Juja parliamentary by-election, and Nyandarwa's Ruri County Assembly ward by-election. Timothy Kipnusu for Channel 1 News.
Now, those were last-minute preparations yesterday, but we understand we have an update that is going to be coming up in not too long, where our reporter Suleiman Yeri is at Isikusi Primary School, where Kabuchai constituency there, where Ford Kenya aspirant there, Majimbo Kalasinga is casting his vote. Remember, we have 123 polling stations down there, as well as 57,654 registered voters in 4 wards. We'll be keeping tabs on what is happening as IBC conducts 7 by-elections today. Once we have the update from Kabuchai as well as Matungu, we will be sharing what they have on ground. Remember that we are live and you can get us on our various platforms, including Facebook, Alive, and YouTube there at www.kbc.co.ke. You can also get further details in regard to this matter and so much more. So as we continue keeping tabs and waiting for that particular feed, I want to draw your attention to our neighboring country, and this is Tanzania, where reports have indicated that 60 nuns and 25 priests have died of the virus in Tanzania. Yes, of the virus in Tanzania. So, the church has gone on to warn citizens to take precautions. Quoted there on page 2 of the Star is Tanzania Episcopal Conference Secretary, Father Charles Kitima. And remember, this comes at a time when Tanzania has not issued any statistics on the COVID-19 since May last year. The World Health Organization has pleaded for the country to do so and review its position on vaccines currently being rolled out through the COVAX distribution scheme. Remember, ours arrived yesterday, arrived yesterday. Now, this is what is happening in Tanzania. And a clarification from the Ministry of Health back at home says that the AstraZeneca, that is the COVID-19 that arrived on Tuesday, will be at a cost. Kenyans have been asking, among the questions that they have been asking, once I get this jab, is it going to assure me safety as far? Will I be able to, is it going to give me immunity for a lifetime? And experts have come out to say that this is still in the experimental stages. Yeah, so we are not quite sure it might actually have that. Further on, government has confirmed that it is going to cost, but it is not going to cost 760 shillings as reported. But we will be keeping tabs on that, as well as other developing issues in regard to matters of COVID-19, where now we understand that Kenya has missed 612,000 COVID vaccine doses after relocation. And this was what was promised under the COVAX facility. We understand that we have the feed steady down in Kabushai. Suleiman Yeri, bring us up to speed with what is happening.
Agents wote akina Kapondi washikwe kwa sababu mkiwaachilia in the next 1 hour hawa vijana wangu wataweza leta shida. Na wasilete shida mkablame chama chetu cha Fort Kenya. Sisi hatuna shida na watu. Sisi hatuna shida na wenye wanataka kura. Lakini wakiona makosa ikiendelea kupeana pesa, I'm telling you not like it. So I'm telling the IG to instruct they have to continue.
Mheshimiwa, umeona jinsi kando na hiyo umesema kwamba kuna kisa ambapo kuna watu wanatoa rushwa na maandalizi ya IBC.
IBC iko sawa kwa sababu system hazikwami kama wakati ile nyingine. Because hizo kiti zao zilikuwa zinakwama. Leo kulingana na ile report nimepata round, sijaona station ambayo kiti yao imekwama. Inaendelea vizuri na watu pia wako kwa line, security iko sawa. Nimeona roadblocks iko mahali kwa barabara iko sawa, na cheki watu wenye wanaingia Kabuchai. Wakwe watu wa Kabuchai na wasiwe na silaha yoyote inaweza kuja kuhami watu, kukuletea shida watu wangu wa Kabuchai. Watu wa Kabuchai ni wapenda amani. Naona Patlita hapa ametulia. Mheshimiwa wako hapa Dr. Chris Omolo ametulia. Mheshimiwa Ferdinand wako ametulia. Kabuchai ni constituency ya amani. Lakini mtu akileta shida ya kuanza kugonga pesa ndiye atakuwa anawachokoza. Ni wabaya sana wakichokozwa. Na mimi I'm very sure hii kitu inaenda kuchukua.
Sasa pamoja na kwamba unasema kwamba tunataka polisi wachukue hatua. Sasa kuripoti aidha kwa
ni kazi ya polisi kwanza kujua nani wanafanya hiyo kazi in the first place. Vijana wangu mimi nikiwapata nichukue sheria yangu mkono wangu itakuwa mbaya. Niwataka polisi sheria. Watu wamewapata. Kwanza wametoroka. Wafuatwe. Na nimesema mbele ya kamera mjue. Hata nyinyi ni members of the press. Fuata hii mambo mpate ukweli.
Wapigaji mwisho wa siku unataraji kwamba matokeo
hata kama hii najua watu ni wachache, najua moja.
Now, indeed, that was just Majimbo Kalasinga, Ford Kenya aspirant there for the by-elections there, casting his ballot at Isikusi Primary School, which happens to be in Kabushai constituency. Remember, the numbers are, we have 123 polling stations down there in Kabushai constituency, 57,654 registered voters, and 4 wards there. What you were just seeing is that particular aspirant, that is Majimbo Kalasinga of Ford Kenya, addressing the press, and some of the issues that he has took concern with is the safety and security of the by-election, saying that there might be some issues here and there if things are not followed, or rather the proper process of this by-election is not followed. We'll be keeping tabs on that. And remember, this is a day we're terming as D-Day. IEBC is currently conducting 7 by-elections, one of them happening that is happening down there in Matungu, Kakamega County, and Kabuchai, which happens to be in Bungoma County. They will also electorates will also be making, or rather electing, new representatives in Huruma Ward in Uasin Gishu, Hell's Gate and London in Nakuru, Mokama in Kisii, and Kitise Kithuku in Makueni. We will have our eyes and ears. We all have our eyes and ears down there as, you know, IEBC conducts this 7 by-elections that have already been termed by political analysts like popularity tests, with some choosing to say that this is a litmus test to just see who has, you know, who has weight when it comes to Ruto, Raila Mudavadi, or Wetangula. We'll be keeping tabs. Thank you very much, Suleiman Yeri, for that feed.
And speaking of what is happening, there's so much feedback that is already on social media platforms. Kabuchai is actually trending as we speak. There's Abraham Mutai who's saying UDA party returning offices in Kabuchai and Matungu were all Kalenjin. And mind you, this is feedback that we are getting straight from the socials. There's one Danyaga who's saying no one is counting ODM as a potential competitor or winner in Matungu, Kabuchai, Machakos, or London in Nakuru, their by-elections. The party is dead and waiting for its burial come 2022. We have Kimani Ishungwa, who's also commented on this particular by-election, saying same tactics employed in Msambweni. The people with God on their side prevailed. Matungu, Kabuchai, London Ward and Hell's Gate Ward, turn out and vote, resist intimidation, defend our democracy by resisting tyranny, and vote peacefully. There's also, let me just get to one more tweet here by Evans Milor, who says Deep State is now panicking. We are winning in London Ward, and we will be in charge of tallying, while Ole Itumbi will be in Kabuchai and Matungu. So we will keep you up to date with all that is happening across the different polling stations as this particular voting continues through the day.
Right, and just as we keep talking about keeping you up to date with what is happening in these different areas as it pertains to this by-elections, remember that also critics and analysts, you know, would say that we know oftentimes there's always that expectation of high voter turnout anytime there's a by-election because of obvious reasons. But for this specific ones, well, there's just talks that clearly there's going to be a high voter turnout because of the reasons that we've kept talking about. It is being termed as a litmus test, especially when you look at these two constituencies, that is Matungu and Kabuchai rather. When you look at Matungu, it's in as much as they're all these 13 aspirants, it is being looked as a 3-horse race simply because of the ODM party candidate, the UDA party candidate, as well as the ANC party candidate. When you come to Kabuchai, in as much as there are aspirants here and there, also being looked at as a 2-horse race, that is between the Ford Kenya party candidate as well as the UDA party candidate. And why it might just become important for the Ford Kenya is because the then MP who died, that is James Lissetti, was a member of Ford Kenya. So will Ford Kenya retain that particular seat through the new party candidate? And just talks here and there of, you know, some saying that their opponents are planning to rig the elections here and there. We had the same conversation of what Senator Cleopa Malala said, but again, here and there also, IEBC officials have come to better clarify that. And just to put you up to speed with what they're saying is that they are going to ensure that people come in place adhering to the COVID-19 protocols, and this is as it pertains to the 1.5 meter rule, as social distancing meter rule, as well as wearing of face masks. And one thing they've become clear to say is that they will not allow anyone to come in with face masks that is sort of like allied to a specific party, which is what the Kakamega senator there was complaining about. So that is probably the latest as of now, but just as my colleagues are mentioning, we'll continue to keep you up to speed with what is happening in these two constituencies as well as the different other specific wards where these by-elections are taking place today.
Now, as we keep tabs on what is happening on those various areas where IEBC is conducting 7 by-elections, one of them happening in Kabuchai and Matungu, Kakamega and Bungoma counties respectively, the clerics have come out to say that IEBC is ill-prepared for the referendum and the 22 elections. Quoted here is David Kodia, who says, who happens to be one of the representatives of the clerics, and this is NCCK Nyanza Regional Committee that is chaired by Bondo ACK Diocese Bishop David Kodia. He said the IEBC needs restructuring. Currently, the electoral body has only 3 commissioners. That is Chairman Wafula Chebukati, Boya Molu, and Abdi Guliye. He says we are concerned because of the shortcomings in the electoral system. Those are concerns that have been shared by the clerics on a day that, we are all focused on what is going to be happening in those various 2 counties there and various constituencies that are going to be casting their vote for their various leaders. 7 by-elections they are conducted by the IEBC. The front page of the Star also has taken time to bring that to your attention with ahead the IEBC fresh crisis may delay June referendum. And this story here is that Commissioner Boya Molu falls out with an acting CEO, Majan, and that has paralyzed operations. Now, we'll wait to see what is going to happen. You know, this is quite a responsibility for the electoral body, and with these comments coming from clerics as well as critics in regard to their, efficacy in delivering their mandate, there will be keeping tabs on that. You can get further details on stories that are making headlines, including the updates of the ongoing by-elections on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. That is where you can get all the information, what matters pertaining politics, business, as well as sports. Now we're about to change gears and walk into matters entertainment. As the globe wails Bunny Wailer, reggae artist who changed the genre to what the Rastafari genre to what it is today. So do keep it right here. We'll be coming back and discussing matters of entertainment.
Fanya hivi, wewe teremuka tu chini. Hata watu wanangojea, unasema unione. Si ninakuona ndio huyu kucha. Kucha ninakuona.
Yoi.
Nimekuita mara ngapi Kate? This is the Nissan Note.
Hii ndio motoka.
Not that this is the Nissan Note we are giving out.
Na ni rahisi sana kuwekelea bid. Unaenda kwenye lipa na M-Pesa. Unaweka paybill number 4032353. Kisha unakelea account number ya Nissan Note ni Note, N-O-T-E. Namba ambayo unapenda, labda unapenda 100, labda unapenda 200. Wekelea Note 100, Note 200. Alafu tutakuitisha shilingi 40 peke yake, 40 bob only. Weka pin yako, utakuwa umekelea bid ya hii Nissan Note. Inakungoja wewe mahali popote ulipo. Mimi na mtumishi tutakupea.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Juhudi za Rais Uhuru Kenyatta za kulinda na kuimarisha maslahi ya Wakenya kwa kuangazia uhalifu wa kila aina ikiwemo ufisadi ni muhimu katika maendeleo ya taifa hili. Wiki hii kwenye Project 254.
We cannot be a country anymore where those who work hard are robbed of their profit by those who are too lazy to invest and produce.
Ofisi ya ODPP imekuwa ni mojawapo ya zile taasisi Kenya ambazo zinashughulika na masuala ya kisheria.
Rais ajue lolote afanyalo kupiga ufisadi kwa haki na ukweli, ana uungwaji wa mkono wa Kenya.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And the drama begins. What the hell did you put my stock?
Ding dong.
I need a lawyer. You stupid monkey. I want my clothes back.
Oh, just shut up.
Sarah, where have you been?
In the sky, of course, sitting on the moon. Or what do you think?
Too bad you've got me, so make the best of it.
Shapu kishafua na supu ya nyama.
Iyo ni yete.
Kamene?
Cassandra.
Palata guidance.
Omera Sata.
That was my time, Farah Hersi.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Oh man, he's sick. It's good to see you back in the church, man. Help offset all that bumping and grinding you've been doing in them videos. How long did you know about my father? I didn't feel it was my responsibility to tell you about your own father.
We're here with your father doing God's work. This will always be my father's church.
Why don't you let church people handle church business?
I'm an entertainer. That's not who you are. That's what you're at.
Look, let them fight over it. I don't care.
But it's your father's legacy. Who's gonna fight for it if you don't?
Tisini na mbili nukta tisa. Hii ni KBC Radio Taifa.
Kila kitu maishani kina sauti yaleta furaha.
Radio.
Sauti ya elimisha, yahimiza, yatuleta pamoja. Sauti ya Kenya.
Radio Taifa.
Well, 30 minutes past 8 a.m. How about we look at what how the roads are looking like in terms of traffic? We are still focusing on Kenyatta Avenue as well as just what is happening along Mwindimbingu Street. So let's just see what is happening there, see if at all things have changed or is just the same. You can remember earlier on there was heavy kind of gridlock, especially around this particular roundabout, which is our focus. That is Kenyatta Avenue, one of those busy roundabouts, and you can remember that Thursdays we just love to look at roundabouts, see how all those or whatever it is that you're looking at is doing in terms of traffic, and look at this particular one. Things have changed, you know, right this, I think that just this very second, because it is opening up altogether, and this is again throughout the entire roundabout. Now this specific one branches off to 4 major roads, just as how it is on major roundabouts. Coming all the way from Valley Road as you get to branch off to Kenyatta Avenue through that particular roundabout, as well as on the other side of Uhuru Highway. This is actually all the way from Wayaki Way past the University Way roundabout, coming through Uhuru Highway to our focus, which is Kenyatta Avenue this morning, again branching off there, heading over to the other side of Uhuru Highway as you head over to Haile Selassie Avenue roundabout, all the way to Nyayo Stadium roundabout as you head over to Mombasa Road, and again branching off to the other side of Kenyatta Avenue as you get to enjoy to the city center. On this particular stretch is where there had been some really ongoing road works, and this was being done by the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, just part of what they are doing in terms of making the city look better and easy for road users. In fact, this was among their first projects. As you walk along Kenyatta Avenue, you can clearly witness the NMT being put in place there, which is the non-motorized transport system, simply because it was becoming very difficult to try and walk through, for pedestrians rather, to try and walk through this particular route when there were no, or when there was no that NMT. But at least as of now, that is put in place. And look at the road situation, better still the traffic situation right now. At least smooth sailing on that specific lane as you are leaving the areas around Uhuru Highway, leaving Valley Road through Kenyatta Avenue roundabout as you head over to the city center. So yes, in as much as there's a bit of a gridlock there on that particular section or that particular lane, but altogether it is a manageable kind of traffic. On the other side, look at that again, it has just opened up right this very second. This is as you leave city center, leaving that area where there were also some ongoing road works around Mwindimbingu Street as you come through the same route heading over through the roundabout as you get to branch off to Uhuru Highway on that section, as well as get to branch off on the other side as you head over to Valley Road. So on that section, yes, in as much as there's a bit of a traffic moving at a very slow pace there. So on the other side is at least where it's manageable kind of traffic. Look at that again as you head over to Uhuru Highway before you get to the Haile Selassie Avenue roundabout. Also, things not bad there, hence that green color. But look at how the other side is looking like. And this is why I kept saying, if at all you intend to use this route, then that time was just the best time for you to do that. Because on this section, or this road, which is between Kenyatta Avenue roundabout and the Haile Selassie, in fact, throughout the entire stretch, heavy kind of traffic, and some sections moving at a very slow pace, and some others at a parking lot. And the sad part on this one, if at all, you know, for our viewers coming from the areas either around Langata Road, Mombasa Road, coming to the city center, or even all the way from Bunyala Road, you will have to make do with this traffic, because on this section, there is no alternative route. So how about we quickly look at the other side as just we get to wrap up traffic, at least as of now. Again, things getting thick as you leave Valley Road. This has just changed right this very second as well. This moving at a very, very fast pace on the other side, as well as coming to the city center, heavy kind of traffic at a parking lot on that section. So let us look at one alternative route, just one alternative route, at least for our viewers coming from areas around Valley Road, coming to the city center via the Kenyatta Avenue roundabout. So if you are coming from, this is what, around the city mortuary roundabout, coming all the way from Ngong Road, or even from Langata Road, branching off to Mbagathi Way, coming through Valley Road before you get to the city center via Kenyatta Avenue. So if you are not yet past, this is Nyerere Road, if you're not yet past that specific, slip road there, then you can use that as an alternative route where you get to branch off at this particular section. Let me just show you that. Before you get there, actually this is it. So you get to use this as one of the alternative routes. There's Nyerere Road, and also there's State House Road. And again, also this is just specific to private car owners as well as those on motorcycles, because these two particular slip roads, they are not for public vehicles. So for our viewers coming from those areas and you are either on private vehicle or on a motorcycle, then you can use this as one of the alternative routes as you head over to the city center. So this particular route will get to branch you off to the University Way roundabout, and there you will be at in the city center or the CBD. But if you are past these two particular routes, then clearly you will have to make do with this traffic, which comes all the way also past the All Saints Cathedral as you come to the city center. In fact, things are getting thick on that section. Look at how it is looking like as of now. And the sad part is that this is actually on both lanes. And on this specific one, when I'm talking about both lanes, it just simply means as you leave the areas around the V Road, coming through the same route before you get to the Kenyatta Avenue roundabout, and also as you leave city center via Kenyatta Avenue roundabout, coming with the same road all the way getting to Valley Road and even past Valley Road. So on this specific road, when I'm talking about on both routes or both sides, that is just specifically what I mean. So as I mentioned, if you are past Nyerere Road, you'll have to make do with that traffic. And again, also if you are past State House Road, because these are the two best alternative routes. If you're past there, then you have to make do with that traffic. But also I'm seeing the same route, heavy kind of traffic there. This is along Nyerere Road, especially as you get over to the city center. So clearly looks like State House Road is just the best route you can use as your alternative route. And that is the road situation as of now. Our focus is still keenly along Kenyatta Avenue, as well as some of those streets that NMS has really tried so much to rehabilitate to make it easy for Nairobi residents. But as of now, this is how it is looking like around Kenyatta Avenue.
Now, there's an article, Doreen, here that has highlighted, some areas, some roads where termed as disasters in waiting. Why? Because of vandalism, especially the guardrails that are erected on this road. And yes, I've used the word erected there. But now people are vandalizing these rails, uncaringly. That's the reason why they've been put there, and this is a disaster in waiting. There's an article there that has dedicated, a whole full page to matters of road security and such, and just borrowing on that. I don't know what you have to say in regard to that. What have Kura and Kenha have to say in regard to vandalism and such of such roads, because they pose a security concern, especially for road users.
Yeah, clearly the issue of vandalism has been going on for a long while, and you can clearly see, especially on most of these major roads where they've really been trying to rehabilitate a lot, just trying to put them into place. But Kenyans are, Kenyans, and there's one specific area. This is especially along Thika Superhighway, just before you get to Globe Roundabout. That particular area, they've removed even the rails, just try to cross over, and that is not that is not the only case as it pertains to road safety. There's also mugging and a lot of just theft going on most of these footbridges. And what has been said a lot is that the different bodies designated to make our roads look better, this could be KENHA, could be KURA, could be NMS, could be the rural urban roads, just trying to ensure that they have this in place. But Kenyans are trying to make it difficult for those that are using this specific route. And Ray has talked about road safety. This is why when you go to Thika Superhighway, the latest bridges to be installed, one around Survey and one at Garden City, specifically rather, especially around the one around Survey, they have really tried to put the lights just to try and ensure that people are safe as they're using that particular route. So there's so much as it pertains to road safety, and what they're trying to do just to at least bridge that gap and try to make sure that Kenyans are safe as they're using the roads or even using the bridges here and there.
Now, just to bring you up to speed with the latest developments in ensuring that, our roads remain safe, there is a proposal by the Transport Committee Chairman, that is David Possin, who says they are contemplating a law to impose a levy on motor insurance for funding the maintenance of road furniture. He says, after a vehicle is involved in an accident, one's car is repaired by insurance. The question is, who repairs the road? Ponder on that as we shift gears and focus on matters entertainment. Now, talking about entertainment is that the Globe is wailing Bunny Wailer, and that is an ode into the last of the Wailers. Remember, Bunny Wailer is the last of his kind, especially within the Wailers group. This group consisted of the late Bob Marley, who succumbed to cancer, and six or 7 years later, his member in the Wailers group, that is none other than Peter Tosh, in 1987, was gunned down in an attempted robbery incident. Now, the 73-year-old bowed out yesterday, and the world is still mourning a legend of sorts. How about we just play some music to set the pace as we talk about matters reggae and remembering the reggae legends.
Bling! Dance master with the crew, this is Drum Dance up on the Wailer. Oh gosh. Tonight. Now anything that you can do, I can do it better. We are the baddest. Nobody because the toughest. And any dub that you can play, I can play it better. We are the baddest. Nobody because the toughest. Rubber dub it is rough. Rubber dub it is tough. Rubber dub it is bad. Oh gosh. Rubber dub make you rock. Rubber dub make you scary to the night. Rubber dub make you wine, cause it's rubber dub time. One ruffian. Because we bigger than them, and we badder than them. Money wheel and ruffian, the people rather than them. Because we fresher than them, we sound better than them. And everybody knows say we are more stepper than them. Hold on me, hook on me, choke on me. All the time come wine on me. Hook on me, rub on me, squeeze on me. Hold up on me. Rubber dub it is rough. Rubber dub it is tough. Look at that. Rubber dub it is bad enough. But like Money Wheel and ruffian. Rubber dub make you rock. Right through the night. Rubber dub make you scary. Rubber dub make you wine, cause it's rubber dub time. And any cup that you can pack, I can pack it tight. We are the baddest. Rubber dub it and the toughest. And any stage show that you can ram, I can ram it up tighter. We We are the baddest, baddest, baddest. Rubber dub it as the toughest, toughest, toughest. Step on them.
No one, no woman pan no left, and no man dey pan no right. Every man fi have a girl and hold on tight. If you know you can't drink and you know your headlight, want some Red Bull, yeah, your girl and one bubble for the night. Da. A ruffian and me a bubble for you. And the way that one you nice, me want a double from you. And me no want no other man, me want it only from you. So you know see that how me humble from you.
And then you move a shot that thing can bust. I and I clap lightning and thunder. We are the baddest, baddest, baddest. Rubber dub it as the toughest, toughest, toughest. And then you move a badness, them can choke. I and I rule earthquake and fire. We are the baddest, baddest, baddest. Rubber dub it as the toughest, toughest, toughest. Ruffian.
Kick off me shoes and get high, me toe nails a squeeze. Wind up me waistline, me need to get some breeze. Me whole body run and give me some water.
Now let us have a listen into Senator Wetangula there, who is down in Kabushai.
Remain because we know our people and we know the trust they have in us as a party, in me as their leader, and above all in our candidate of choice, Majimbo Kalasinga, who has just cast his vote in Sikusi primary. And we look forward to a day free of ugly incidents. We will, as a team, go around the constituency just to ensure that voting is moving on smoothly. And we want to urge IEBC to do an exemplary job like they have always done in by-elections, so that we have an outcome that is not contestable, an outcome that all Kenyans will be proud of. Thank you.
You are the party leader of Ford Kenya. Don't you think this by-election is a litmus test for you in terms of the dominance of Ford Kenya in this region's politics, and also in terms of your political capital from the Western region, putting in mind the national politics?
There is no doubt that the outcome of this by-election has a direct bearing on my standing among colleagues in the country at the level at which I operate. If I lose a seat in my own home, certainly it will be a blot on my political career and my political image. So you are right that my standing among peers must be reflected by my ability to marshal my primary support in my primary constituency, so that they can be able to vote in a manner that I desire. That's why the last 1 week you've seen me crisscross together with colleagues that I'm with here and those who are not here. Mama Count Catherine Wambilianga, who suffered some minor injury in an incident that you have covered. We are very conscious of the issue that you have raised, and we are very conscious that that issue will not be allowed to happen. Not by us here, but by the people of this area who have brought us up and who know who we are.
Of course, there is also that by-election pact between ANC and Ford Kenya. Do you think this is the outcome of this by-election is going to have a bearing in that mooted merger between ANC and Ford Kenya moving forward to the next election?
As you know, ANC has fielded a candidate in Matungu with our support, and ANC has demonstrated support for our candidate here in Kabuchai. You've seen us evolve a new political term called adopting a candidate, in which ANC, Wiper and KANU adopted our candidate as their candidate, and in Matungu, Ford Kenya, Wiper and KANU adopted an ANC candidate as their candidate. It is a major step in the direction of galvanizing the unity of the people of this region, and I have no doubt that ANC will perform well in Matungu as we perform well here, and the catalytic effect to this is that it draws us closer and closer to each other in the pursuance of the unity of the region and in furtherance of our desire to have a united front in 2022.
Other than the issues and allegations of voter bribery, are there any other challenges that your agents perhaps have communicated to you regarding this entire exercise?
Remember, it's only 2 hours since the polling stations were opened. So our command center at Musese CDF headquarters must be receiving reports which I'm not privy to now. And as we go around, we will be getting briefs from the command center. And as we get them, we'll share with you. Right now, it will be speculative to talk about anything beyond what we have told you about the bribery that has been witnessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, those are sights and scenes of what is happening down in Kabuchai there. That is Moses Wetangula, and as analysts have said, Senator Moses Wetangula there saying of Fort Kenya, saying that this is a high time that they will get to know exactly who is who in such a region. He has said that he's been traversing the constituency there, garnering support for his man there, that is Majimbo Kalasinga, who we saw earlier casting his vote there. This analysts have said that this is a popularity test, but might just give us a sneak peek of to what is likely to happen during the 2022 general elections. Now, these particular by-elections, especially polls in Kabuchai and Matungu, will test the mettle of big guns. This is none other than Deputy President William Ruto, ODM leader Raila Odinga, and heavyweights of ANC, that is Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula of Ford Kenya, who have all fielded candidates. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee Party is also on the ballot. So much is going to be happening. When we talk about political intrigues, this is where our eyes are focused on, and we have our reporter down there, Suleiman Yeri, bringing us up to speed with, what happens on ground. Now, as soon as we get any other updates from Matungu, as well as, the other ones in Nakuru that are going to the polls this morning, we are going to be updating you as soon as we get the information. Now we shift focus to matters entertainment, and now we're talking about reggae music. A day after, rather, as the globe continues to mourn an icon there who shaped what we know as the genre reggae music, the Rastafari genre, and I'm talking about none other than Bunny Wailer, who died yesterday at the age of 73. He was the last of his kind there, and I'd want to draw your attention to page 3 of the Standard this morning that has gone ahead to just look at his life. He was born Neville O'Reilly Livingston, better known as Bunny Wailer, and he's a singer and a songwriter. Some of his music, he has been he's been quoted saying that Bunny liked his music untouched, unviolated, and he had a publicized disagreement with rapper Snoop Dogg, who he accused of appropriating the Rastafari movement for commercial gain. That is what people remember him for. His music, he liked his music untouched, unviolated, and unviolated. He was an original member of the Wailers reggae group, along with Bob Marley, father of reggae as we say it, and Peter Tosh, a Grammy Award winner, and he's considered one of the long-time standard bearers of reggae music. So this morning, as the globe mourns him, we are also going to be talking about reggae music a little bit locally. I'm joined by two gentlemen on set, an artist and his manager. On my extreme left is Richie Chris, who is a reggae artist, and on my extreme right is his manager, OJ's BMG. Welcome, gentlemen. This is Entertainment Thursday on KBC Channel 1. Good morning, Kenya. Thank you for making time.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning.
Aha. Now, Richie, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Why did you choose the genre of reggae? Why the reggae genre in terms of your performance?
Yeah, man. Just send to spread message to the people and love. So that's why. And I also grow from a family who love reggae music.
Aha.
So nimegrow nikipenda reggae. So it's good to spread the peace and love to the people.
Spreading the peace and love.
Yes, and my music is a way road to consciousness. Yes,
I told my colleagues here that when we talk about music, we talk about conscious music. I'm also a reggae fan. So I want to find out, Richie, who do you emulate, you know, as you're spreading conscious music, peace and love? Who is an artist you look up to?
Yeah, man, I look at an artist called Turbulence. The man is inspired me a lot. Energy, everything, positive. I love all his style. Yeah,
Turbulence.
Yeah, Turbulence. Yes.
Now, let's now ask your manager how, you know, let me just hear from you before we bring in OJ's BMG there, who is your manager. What is the reception for your music currently? You know, we're in the 21st century. When you see reggae music, it has changed. It has morphed to, we have lovers rock, we have roots and culture, we have dancehall and such. What has been the reception within, you know, just local music industry for reggae music?
But even if you see here in Kenya, at least unapata watu wameanza kupenda reggae music a lot. We produce a lot, a very good artist, dancehall or reggae music, and they are doing great. So the only thing we need is support. Yeah, man, that's the only thing. If we get that support, and togetherness is the power.
Support. We will be talking about that in not too long. Let's rope in your manager there, OJ's BMG. What do you have to say in regard to, you know, the reception that reggae music has received in the local music industry?
Reggae imepata audience hapa Kenya mzuri sana. Hata ukiangalia the biggest events zile zinafanyika within the country, unapata zenye zinapata watu wengi, yani wale wanakuja kwa show ni reggae. So in Kenya here, I think we have a good audience. You have a good audience. Yeah, and what we need is to support the local reggae artists. Vile tuna support the other artists from Jamaica or outside the country. Yeah.
Personally, as OJ's BMG, are you a reggae fan? You know, being a manager, si lazima pia consume your music. I'm an artist, mwenye kona. You have taste and preference. Is reggae one of your taste and preferences?
Nobody can stop reggae.
Nobody can. Is that a yes or a no? Or are you being politically correct?
Reggae ni real. Reggae ni mziki hata mtoto mdogo anaweza relate. Yani mimi napenda reggae na napenda mziki in general. Yeah.
Now, we will be getting back to this conversation and talking about reggae music, but we understand that Suleiman Yeri, who is down at Kabuchai, has an update for us. Remember, this is one of the constituencies that is currently casting their vote, or rather ballot, if you like, to elect their member of parliament. Yeri?
Thanks very much, Regina Manyara, back in Broadcasting House in Nairobi. If you may allow me to speak in Kiswahili, I beg your viewers so that I can speak in Kiswahili. Shukran sana, na tunakuja moja kwa moja kutoka katika kituo hapa katika eneo bunge la Kabuchai, ambako shughuli ya upigaji kura ilianza mwendo wa saa 12 asubuhi. Kumbuka kwamba katika kiti hiki cha Kabuchai kimevutia takriban wapiga kura ama wagombeaji 8, wakiwemo 2 ambao ni wagombezi huru na vile vile 6 kutoka katika vyama mbalimbali. Tayari Kalasinga Majimbo, ambaye ndiyo mgombezi wa chama cha Ford Kenya, ameweza kupiga kura yake mapema katika eneo ama katika shule ya Isikusi RC Primary School, ambapo pale akizungumza baada ya kupiga kura alilalamikia kwamba hongo imekuwa nyingi, ama amezungumzia kwamba malalamishi yake yamekuwa ni utoaji wa hongo kutoka kwa baadhi ya vyama ambavyo ni wapinzani kutoka katika uchaguzi huu mdogo wa Kabuchai. Na vile vile kiongozi wa chama hicho cha Ford Kenya, ambaye pia ni Moses Wetangula, alikuja katika kituo hiki kingine hapa, ambapo pia aliweza kupiga kura yake, ambapo baadaye pia malalamishi yake yalikuwa ni sawa na yale ya mgombezi wa chama hicho ambaye ni Majimbo Kalasinga, akisema kwamba kumekuwa na utumiaji ama kumekuwa na utoaji wa hongo katika eneo hili.
katika eneo hili ambapo mengi ambayo yanaendelea sasa hivi, wakisema kwamba tayari wameshapiga ripoti kwa maafisa wa usalama vile vile katika tume ya uchaguzi na mipaka IEBC ili iweze kutoa ama kuchukua hatua madhubuti kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao wanahusika na vitendo hivi ambavyo ni kinyume cha sheria za uchaguzi wanachukuliwa hatua na kuhakikisha kwamba uchaguzi huu unakuwa huru na haki ili wananchi waweze kupata fursa ya kuweza kuwachagua viongozi wanaowataka. Vile vile aliweza kueleza kwamba wana imani kwamba mshindani wao ama mgombezi wao Majimbo Kalasinga ataweza kuondoka na ushindi katika kiti hiki. Vile vile kumekuwa na baadhi ya mambo ambayo yametokea ikiwemo utovu wa usalama katika eneo moja la Pongolo ambako kuna baadhi ya waendeshaji pikipiki wanasema kwamba pikipiki zao zimevamiwa na watu wasiowajua, wakilalamika kwamba wanataka kulindwa. Wafuasi hao wakisema wao ni wafuasi wa chama cha UDA. Kwa hivyo kumekuwa na visa kama hivyo, lakini hadi sasa mambo yote yako shwari, usalama umedumishwa kila mahali. Wapiga kura wako hapa, wanapiga kura kwa mwendo wa polepole vile, kwa kasi, ambapo kwa sababu tayari wapiga kura ni wachache kama unavyoona nyuma yangu, idadi ya wapiga kura ni wachache, sio wengi kama vile ambavyo inashuhudiwa katika chaguzi nyingine zile ambazo huwa zinatokea. Na kabla mtu yoyote kuingia hapa kuja kupiga kura, anahitajika kwamba anapimwa joto lake la mwili, vile vile anatakiwa kuosha mikono kuambatana na vile viwango ambavyo vinafuatiliwa vya kulinda watu dhidi ya corona. Kwako Regina Manyara, labda kama una swali lolote.
Hili tatu na kunradhi nitatumia lugha ya Kimombo kwamba Swahili is not as clear as I'd want it to be or fluent. I switch to English. Now, Suleiman Yeri, yes, we are voting. We are seeing these by-elections taking place during COVID-19, and you've said you have to get screened. But I see the lines, in as much as you're saying there's no much reception so far, being just some few minutes past 9 or to 10, depending. People are still, they're not maintaining social distancing. So what is up with that? And also, what have the IEBC officers have to say in regard to their preparations of, handling this by-election amid those claims of voter bribery? And they're already raising questions with some of the aspirants there, as we've heard from Kalasinga and also Moses Wetangula there. What have they said in regard to this matter? Maybe you can address those two.
Namshukuru sana Regina, nikijibu maswali yako mawili hayo kuhusiana na kutowekwa kwa umbali unaotakikana ule ambao unapendekezwa na Wizara ya Afya ya mita 1.5. Kwa kweli wanapoingia watu wanapimwa joto lao, lakini kweli wanapopanga laini unaona kwamba hakuna ule umbali ambao unatakikana kuwekwa. Watu wamekaa kama vile ambavyo ni kawaida tu kwa wakati mwingine ule ambao huwa tunauona hapa. Lakini kuhusiana na swala hili la malalamishi ya baadhi ya viongozi kuhusiana na swala hili la uchaguzi ama wengine kutoa hongo ama rushwa kwa baadhi ya wapiga kura ili waweze kupigia watu ambao wanawataka, bado IEBC haijaweza kutoa kauli yoyote, licha ya kwamba viongozi hawa wanasema kwamba wamepeana malalamishi yao ama wameweza kutoa maoni yao kwa IEBC ili kuhakikisha kwamba hatua zinaweza kuchukuliwa. Lakini baadaye tutakuwa tunazungumza na baadhi ama tutakuwa tunazungumza na msimamizi wa uchaguzi ambaye ni returning officer katika eneo hili la Kabuchai kumuuliza maswali haya, ambapo tutakuwa tunakujibu katika taarifa zetu zijazo.
Last one, Suleiman Yeri, from where you sit, you've been at the polling station as early as 5:30 this morning, and you have been there some hours from yesterday. What would you say is the current mood in Kabuchai constituency?
Kile nitakachosema ni kwamba amani imetanda katika eneo hili. Watu wametulia wakingoja kuchagua viongozi wao. Hakuja kuwa na kisa chochote kile ambacho ni cha kutamausha ama kisa chochote kile ambacho unaweza kusema kwamba ni cha kuvunja moyo kutokana na utovu wa usalama ama kukosekana kwa amani. Amani imetanda. Manake maafisa wa polisi, maaskari kutoka vikosi mbalimbali wapo katika eneo hili. Hata ukiangalia katika kila laini unapata kwamba kuna afisa wa polisi kuhakikisha kwamba hali hii iko sawa na wananchi wanakuja wanapiga kura zao wanavyostahili na ili kuondoka, na kadri unapomaliza kupiga kura wanaruhusiwa kuondoka. Hatujaona mikusanyiko mikubwa ya watu kwamba wanazua rabsha ama wanasababisha ghasia ama kutaka kusababisha ghasia. Toka tulipofika hapa jana usiku tumepata kwamba eneo hili la Kabuchai ni la amani, na kulingana na viongozi wenyewe wanasema kwamba Kabuchai ni eneo bunge ambalo linapenda amani kwa sababu ya wananchi wote, na ni haki ya kila mwananchi kufanya ama kuchukua wakati huu kupiga kura, demokrasia iweze kufanyika kwa wakati huu. Kama utaweza kuniruhusu, nataka kuzungumza na watu wawili watatu ili tuweze kujua kwamba hali yao ikoje, labda toka wafike asubuhi wanategemea nini, maana kuna wengine ambao bado wanafika hapa. Habari madam, labda tueleze majina yako ni nani na toka ufike hapa unatarajiaje?
Kwa majina naitwa Emily Wekesa. Nilikuja hapa kupiga kura nichague mbunge mwenye nataka ili aniakilishie, anitetee katika maisha yangu.
Labda unategemea nini kutoka kwa yule ambao unataka kumchagua?
Namtegemea afanyie vitu vya kama mashule, kunitengezea barabara, ndio sasa nipate faida kwake.
Haya, sawa. Shukran sana. Wacha niongee pia na mzee mwingine hapa ambaye pia ni mmoja ya wapiga kura. Labda kwa majina ni nani na umeshapiga kura?
Nimeshapiga kura. Nimeshapiga kura. Nimeona tu mzuri.
Hali imekuwaje? Shughuli hii unaiangaliaje na shughuli nyingine?
Shughuli imekuwa sawa. Tunapiga tu kura tunaenda nyumbani.
Usalama ukoje?
Usalama iko sawa.
Shukran sana. Wewe kaka unaitwaje?
Mimi naitwa Kinesias Wamalwa. Mimi ni mkaaji wa hapa. Napikanga kura hapa kwa hii shule. Naona usalama hapa iko sawa. Wamama wamesimama kwa laini. Na security iko sawa.
Shukran sana. Kinesias Wamala ni mmoja wapiga kura hawa kutoka eneo hili la Kabuchai, akielezea kwamba usalama kama ulivyokuwa umeniuliza kwamba Regina uko shwari kabisa, na kurudishia kwako studioni itakuwa tunazungumza zaidi kuhusiana na vile ambavyo shughuli hii inaendelea hapa katika eneo bunge la Kabuchai.
Shukran sana Suleiman Yeri kwa taarifa uliotupa. Now, according to political analysts, they're saying that being Moses Wetangula's backyard, this is Bungoma County, now, which is Kabuchai constituency, yes. He will be seeking to use this election to prove to his detractors that the party is strong, and among those are going to be Kandui MP Wafula Wamunyinyi, who tried to wrestle the party from Wetangula in a failed coup. And some of the analysts have been quoted saying that this is Wetangula's constituency where he votes. And he has actually said that in that update there, where we were just having a sneak peek as to what is happening on ground. He has said that this is his backyard, and he's been traversing Kabuchai constituency there, just gathering support for the Ford Kenya candidate, that is Majimbo Kalasinga, who had earlier on cast his vote already. This is quite a hotly contested seat here, and we have seen this is going to actually define, or rather that's what political analysts have come out to say, that this might just be a popularity test that will define, or rather give us a sneak peek as to what to expect in the general elections 2022. We'll be keeping tabs on what is happening down in Kabuchai as well as Matungu there, Kakamega and Bungoma respectively. We're also going to be keenly focusing on what is happening in the rest of the 5 where constituents are going to be choosing their leaders, or rather county representatives. On that note, we take a short break, but return, we're going to be talking about politics as well as matters entertainment.
fanya hivi, wewe teremuka tu chini. Hata watu wanangojea unasema unione. Si ninakuona ndio huyu kucha. Kucha ninakuona.
Yoi.
Nimekuita mara ngapi Kate? This is the Nissan Note.
Hii ndio motoka.
Not that this is the Nissan Note we are giving out.
Na ni rahisi sana kuwekelea bid. Unaenda kwenye lipa na M-Pesa. Unaweka paybill number 4032353. Kisha unakelea account number ya Nissan Note ni Note, N-O-T-E. Namba ambayo unapenda, labda unapenda 100, labda unapenda 200. Wekelea Note 100, Note 200. Alafu tutakuitisha shilingi 40 peke yake, 40 bob only. Weka pin yako, utakuwa umekelea bid ya hii Nissan Note. Inakungoja wewe mahali popote ulipo. Mimi na mtumishi tutakupea.
On the next episode of
Saida.
Toba hii. Utakuficha wapi sasa?
Saida fungua. Yaani Saida hufungui?
Mume wangu, pana subra.
Dawa wote hasemi chochote? Hasemi chochote. Kazi yake tu kutafuta tu.
Huku ya hema kama lori.
Huku ya hema kabisa nakwambia. Leo mpaka kanywa maji.
Kwani rafiki yangu? Kwani leo ulikuwa mficho wapi wewe? Ulikuwa mficho wapi wewe?
Wewe vipi mume wangu?
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
I step on someone and someone says, hey, you stepped on me. And that's how the conversation started.
That is how I got her contacts.
Okay.
And,
oh, wow.
She had to go for vetting at my parents' place.
Okay.
There was a lot of approvals required.
And we took the risk of me stopping working to just take care of the child and go back to school. Eventually we thought, let's start a business.
Once someone's project an effort to change even the circumstances relating to the income coming to the family, then I think it should be embraced.
And trust is a product. If people trust you, they will trust you with their resources.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Amerudi wapi huyu?
Ni vitu vyako subiri.
Yale ya impeachment ya governor. Kabisa ndio hayo. Tayari tushaongea na MCAs. Shida iko wapi?
Bwana Simita. Ndio. Wewe utamwamini vipi huyu mtu kama atakutekelezea mambo yetu?
Hebu jamaza
Nimekuja hapa tusuluhishe hili jambo.
Mzee, kama unataka nyinyi wasikize, huyu asongee chochote hapa sasa hivi.
Yes, indeed. We say we multitask. We'll keep you informed on what is happening on ground in Matungu as well as Kabushai, and also still keep you updated on what is happening as far as the entertainment industry is concerned. So the world is mourning Bunny Wailer, and I'm joined in studio by two gentlemen who reggae music is their genre of choice. I don't know if you listen to reggae music, but I personally enjoy that. That is none other than Richie Chris, who's a reggae artist accompanied by his manager, OJ's BMG. So before we took that break and looked at what was happening in Kabushai, Richie, you were saying, ulikuwa unasema ama ulikuwa unadai, I'm trying to BJ in here, ulikuwa unadai kwamba support lazima come through for reggae music. Pardon me, this is the best I can. Support, when you say support, what does that mean exactly?
Support. Support inakuwa hivi. Unavenye kama saa hii unapata tuko na Reggae in the Sun, wana organize reggae za Kenya, reggae ya Kenya. Wasanii wa Kenya wa reggae wanaenda kuperform. So jue at least unafaa uende at least ukate tiketi yako. Uende kwa hiyo show at least mkikuja hiyo tutaona hiyo ni support ni muhimu sana. Alafu unafaa tushare hizi malinks za ngoma zetu YouTube. Alafu tuko na pia Roots Radio, at least wanakuanga wakisupport reggae music. Ujue ukipiga msanii nini support, ana morali inaongezeka. Juu tumeona wasanii wengi wame give up. but hiyo support ni muhimu sana. Though corona imefanya mambo imerudi nyuma, events zilikansiliwa kwa inalingana na hizo nini venye imewekwa. But tunaomba Unya at least
unaona kama Unya atafungua
at least turudi to entertain watu, at least to spread message to the people. Hiyo ndio kitu tunataka.
Sasa Richie, kwa sababu umesema support ya mafans ni muhimu. I would want you to big up your fans, waambie watakupata vipi kwa social media platform vipi. It's your time. Kamera ndio hiyo.
All right. Life has changed into beautiful garden ever since you enter into my life, oh baby. Boom, you don't know this original being Rich Chris representing, and from outer BMG Entertainment inside KBC. Mazee, wende uko kwa YouTube, subscribe Rich Chris. Facebook napatikana kwa Rich Chris, alafu Instagram uko pia Rich Chris 13. Subscribe and share my work. Give thanks, blessed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bas, hapo sasa niliwaambia leo ni conscious music. Tuko tu hapa. And you do not have to be dread to be Rasta, by the way. Don't forget that. Reggae music cuts across age, states, gender, everything. Conscious music. Sawa? Sawa. Now, producer, as a producer and a marketer, OJBMG, have you had challenges, pushing, reggae music?
The challenges na kuanga mingi sana kupushi muziki ya reggae. So unapata kwanza, challenge ya kwanza ni msanii kupata ile do ya kulipa kwa studio. Unapata msanii ako na talent but ile uwezo ya kurekod unapata hana. Maybe tunamsupport pande ya kurekod, then kifika pande ya studio na pande ya video inakuwa challenge kidogo. So hiyo support vile msanii amesema inahitajika sana. Ndio tunasema hata msanii kama ametoa tuseme ni audio, apate airtime, ichezwe kwa radio, ajulikane, then aende events, perform, alipwe, ndio apate do pia kuje pande ya kushoot video. Ndio sasa iende international kwa TVs and what have you. Yeah.
Sasa Geo story tunataka tuwape kibao moja tu, naitwa Give Thanks by Richie Chris. Ndio ngoma.
Man a charm down Babylon system. Now a biggie man a gonna try in the city to preach peace and bring people together as one. Don't you see Rasta man a charm down Babylon system. Now a biggie man a gonna try in the city to preach peace and bring people together as one. Oh, the Most High Jah, give thanks and praise. Rastafari never let I down, man. Oh, the Most High Jah, give thanks and praise. Rastafari never let I down, man. Government to better legalize marijuana. Marijuana is a medicine. Never make me mad. Marijuana good for lifesaver, and many people depend on it. Government to better legalize marijuana. Marijuana is a medicine. Never make me mad. Marijuana good for lifesaver, and many people depend on it. Oh, the Most High Jah, give thanks and praise. Rastafari never let I down, man. Oh, the Most High Jah, give thanks and praise. Rastafari never let I down, man.
hapo sasa, Give Thanks. This happens to be our guest's first track. Richie Chris.
Yes.
Give Thanks track yako ya kwanza.
Yeah, that's my first track.
Ukijipa critic. How did you do it? How did you, unaonaje? Unairetaje?
Yo, in fact, hii ndio ngoma yangu ya kwanza.
Ola.
So nilipigia my manager simu. Kwa mazeni kuna track nyingine hapa nataka ni record. Alafu akaniambia wewe kuja studio, tutaona venye iko. Nimeenda studio, nikapiga freestyle hapo kidogo, akaniambia hiyo imeweza. So about your song nile give thanks. Kaina lingana vitu the most high ameshanisaidia nimetoka through mpaka mali tunaenda. It's a gratitude journey. Yeah.
The gratitude journey.
Yes. So hiyo track nilisema acha ni give thanks. Ilikuwa about give thanks for everything. Yeah.
Sasa juu tunataka kuona ulipo mali ulikuwa na mali uko. Next track ni Positive Vibration hapa. Lazima tujipee critics hapa. Tujue tunaenda wapi. What does the future hold? Positive Vibration by Richie Chris.
Rastafari.
What we just needed, positive vibrations there. My directors walikuwa wananiambia nichangamke, but nimewaambia watu wa reggae tunachangamkanga mdogo mdogo. We do not do those things unless we are listening to dance hall. So there's a huge difference between the different, you know, forms of reggae. There's dancehall, there's lovers rock, there's roots and culture. So watu wa conscious music tafadhali, we only move our hands, our heads and our feet. That is as far as we go. Conscious music, sawa? Let's talk, tukifunga sasa tueleze. There's this perception that people who enjoy reggae music are not straight in society, that they are the miscreants in society. We want to demystify that. Watu wanasema watu wenye nasikizanga reggae ni majambazi. Mimi si jambazi na si jambazi. Tuendeaje hiyo story?
Hiyo hapo hivyo, that's not true. Juu kawa inalingana venye sahi venye mambo iko. Unapata hata reggae imekuwa protected huko juu. So reggae si ati inasikizwa na jambazi ama nini. Reggae ina bring people together. So about reggae music is life. You have to live it up and breathe it
Reggae, rudia, kuna watu nataka wasikie. Na najua mbona nataka wasikie hiyo part.
Reggae music is life. You have to live it up and breathe it. Yeah man, ni kama hewa. Hiyo ndio life yako.
Bas, ni kama hewa.
So reggae music si ati inasikizwa na wajambazi ama nini. Reggae music, everybody, kila mtu amependa reggae sahi. Mashosho, mapasta, manini, kila mtu watoi.
And you don't have to be dread, you don't have to be rasta.
You don't have to be a dread to be a rasta man.
Kabisa. Yes, conscious music. One word from OJ's BMG.
Mimi ile kitu naweza ambia wale wasanii wanafanya mziki ama reggae huko nje. Mimi najulikana kama OJ's BMG. Tuko na studio pale Mbakazi inaitwa BMG Entertainment. Hiyo studio ina promote wasanii. Kama uko na kipaji unafika studio, tunakusikiza. Then una record, unakuwa superstar kama Richie Chris.
Kabisa. I like what you have done there kama superstar Richie Chris.
Alafu pia sasa kwa handle zetu za social media, ukiingia Facebook utaenda pale utapata BMG Entertainment ama OJ's BMG. Instagram OJ's BMG, Twitter the same. Alafu pale YouTube pia ni BMG Entertainment. Subscribe, share, watch na tuendelee kufanya kazi pamoja.
Very well said. Now our guest this morning looks up to Tarrus Riley. Looks up to Tarrus Riley as his role model. Anasemanga ako mkali sana. And there's a particular jam. Is there a particular jam that you like ya Tarrus Riley ama yote tu msa? Yani ngoma zake tu ziko tops. Kuna yake moja unapenda?
Ngoma zake ziko fiti.
Zote.
Lakini
yenye unapenda zaidi, you have to have a preference.
Lakini ya Turbulence. Ya Turbulence.
Turbulence. Oh, Turbulence ako juu. Sasa juu tulikuwa tumejipanga na Tarrus Riley, who happens to be one of my favorite. See, to drop She's Royal, tukifunga. Hiyo ni 2006. Yes. Sindio? Kabisa. Indeed. Now that brings a cup to Matters Entertainment. Okay, now before we actually listen to that jam, I'd want to take you down to Kabusha in not too long, in 1 minute or so, just to highlight what we have been talking about in terms of supporting reggae music. The artists here say that they need support, airplay, and if you're a fan of reggae, you don't have to be a dread actually to enjoy reggae music, and that even the local industry is actually opening up to reggae music. We've been seeing concerts here and there where people just meet together to enjoy what we term conscious music, spreading the peace and love. And from our guest this morning, I want to borrow one word that you said, Richie Chris. You said that you have to live it and breathe it. Reggae is life. I don't know about you, but Richie Chris believes that's so. That's the way, you know, peace music, you know, as you say. But then, what would you say, ukapewa nafasi uzungumzie Baniwela? What would you say?
By the Baniwela, so juu hao ndio wasanii wale discover reggae music. Sahi at least unapata kwanza isi salute the king. So the way last sahi unapata sawa wamesonga wote. GN ndio alikuwa survive, at least at least teach people. Juu ngoma zao ilikuwa conscious reggae music. So ulikuwa unaweza learn more about their songs. Yeah man. So at least Rastaman never die. We still live on forever. Yes, I am.
So that brings a close to that. Rasta never dies there. Conscious music. This brings a cup to Matters Entertainment. As you said, we are having our eyes and ears on ground on D-Day when IBC is conducting 7 by-elections. Now we have a link down there from one of our reporters who is keenly focusing what is happening in the during the by-elections, the 7 by-elections. So this is Matungu. Wycliffe, bring us up to speed to what is happening on ground.
Yes. Yes, good morning from the BH back in Nairobi. We are coming to you live from Lubanga Primary School in Matungu constituency here in Kakamega County, which is one of the polling stations by election size. The polling station here, just like the returning officer alluded to us yesterday, and the this exercise, or the voting exercise, is supposed to come to an end at 5 p.m. unless any other technicality arises. And just to paint for us a picture of the process of voting, and probably if in case there is any potential challenge that has been witnessed so far, I would like to bring on board the presiding officer for this particular station to paint the picture for us in regard with the process. Yes, sir. Yeah, you are welcome, and you're live on KBC Channel 1 News. Probably just tell us your name and paint for us a picture of the process here so far.
Okay, I'm called Sabibu Mtenyowere. The exercise began well, whereby the station began at exactly 6 a.m. in the morning. Then so far, the voter turnout is around 25.7%, of which we have 127 out of 461. So far, we have not encountered any problem. The King's machine are working well. So no problem at all as per now.
Mr. Yesterday, the returning officer said the process will take place or will occur in strict adherence to COVID-19 protocol. But then if you look around, I'm saying the line here, is it that the commission, now that you are the representative here, is doing to ensure that those protocols are observed?
Yeah, the presiding officer, I am stationed inside, whereby what is going outside, it is supposed to be the queen clerk and maybe the officers in charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing and but haven't witnessed like for this one laying here.
Just sights and sounds of what is happening in Matungu there, which is in Kakamega County. And this contest that is currently underway is between Ruto, Raila and Mudavadi. More than 61,000 voters will be, or rather are currently casting their vote for a new MP to replace Justice Murunga, who died in November. The aspirants, the number currently is 15 candidates are in the race, including Peter Nabulondo of ANC, David Were of ODM, Alex Lanya of UDA, Charles Kasimani of UDP, Paul Achanyo of MDG, and Faida Auma of Maendeleo Chapchap. So in this particular race here, in Kakamega, we have bigwigs. This is Raila, Ruto, and Mudavadi's people. What is going to happen here? We'll be keeping tabs on that and bringing you up to speed in regard to any developments on ground. As you've seen, the constituents are already casting their ballot there. We know that these by-elections are coming at a time when we're still dealing with matters of COVID-19. So issues of safety, we have them having masks and sanitizing and being screened before getting to the polls, but we're still not social distancing. But that is addressed in our subsequent broadcast there. We were just about to wind up on Entertainment Thursday, where we're focusing on reggae music, and we want to end this particular show. I had these two gentlemen, that is OJ's BMG, who is a producer and marketer of Richie Chris, who is a reggae artist who has told us that reggae cuts across genres, gender, and it doesn't matter if you don't have your dreadlocks on. We've not asked him how long his dreadlocks are and how long you've had them. As you close.
9 years old.
You've had dreadlocks for 9 years?
Yeah.
Okay, sawa sawa. Does that give you a problem accessing government offices or even?
No.
So it's okay? Watu wame-accept Rastaman?
Wame-accept.
Bas.
Kila mahali.
Wame-accept.
Wamejua Rastaman is a peaceful man.
Rastaman is a peaceful man. Tunamaliza his segment na She's Royal by Taras Riley.
Natural beauty, you know. Yeah. No, I've never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try. Yeah. Oh, yes. Let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry. No, I know every everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind, no. The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind until the night that I seen your eyes. My queen, so supreme. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes, I know the king and queen crown, same time. So I'd never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Correct, I know good man is hard to find. And she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme, yeah. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, no, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. My Nubian queen.
Nimewambia aje.
Sema ile wimbo unatingisha kichwa.
Yes.
This is the you just head, nothing else. Mabega achana nazo.
Achana na mabega, achana na bambam, achana conscious music. We are, please, no please. Oh, our producer is saying unashake hizo vitu zingine kwa ndani.
Lakini kichwa pekee ndio inaonekana.
Tafadhali na mikono. Una slow music. No, you guys. Now you guys are quaking as if you're breaking the next music.
Buddha.
The music is
Wamboi, wacha tusitake personal watu wa mabega.
Manze.
It's okay.
Kwanza wewe amekuoffend sana.
You need to decide are you dancing or are you having a seizure? You need to understand.
It's also a dance move. There's no like bounds as to what dance is supposed to be.
Sisi ni mziki bila jasho, please.
Uko tu sawa.
And you can shake whatever you feel like is okay with you.
I hope mesikia venye our guest amesema. Breathe, live, reggae is life. Kaboom.
Rastaman is a peaceful man.
Humble and peaceful. Reggae wenye mnafikirianga Rasta ni wagondi.
But in the wise words of Major. Nipebeka, mabega. Nipebega.
Sasa hapo hata harile wachana nayo.
What did you just say? What are you doing? What is happening?
Sisi watu wa mabega hatutaki personal. Tumeamua kujikubali na kujiappreciate.
Lest I left the group. Kidogo. Before you leave, hata tushughulikie trending topics kidogo. Now, I just want us to start with these two stories are actually in one way or the other intertwined. But let's just start with what happened, I think, a day ago. And this is in regards to DJ Krim. We all know him, DJ Krim de la Krim. He's a superstar DJ, been in the game for so long. And he's also been in a very committed relationship. So it is only recently that he proposed to his wife. I'm going to use that loosely. It's only recently that he proposed after 14 years of being together, living together, and they are blessed with 2 beautiful babies. I don't know what you guys think about this whole situation. Like, how long is too long when it comes to just dating before you graduate your relationship? Let me start with you, D.
How long
is too long? I mean, 14 years.
Yeah, we were having this conversation just kidogo even before you brought it up, and I was again giving that another example as still of a Kenyan celebrity, Kenyan artist in the person of King Kaka, who also did the same. After 8 years, that is when he decided. And I really want to start thinking that sometimes this is just based on 2 individuals. For me as a person, by the way, I think that was just very long, because I just do not see how and why you'll be with someone for over 10 years, living in the same house, you even have children, but you just decide to put a ring on it after 14 years. Like, what are you seeing now that probably is feeling like he's making you sure? Because by the time you're putting a ring, I want to believe, now you feel like, I'm sure about this thing. I just don't know what is making you sure after 14 years that you weren't sure then. Okay. That you had to live with someone for all this while for you to decide, by the way, it is time. But anywho, to each their own.
Their own, right. 14 years. 2 beautiful babies later, and you propose marriage. Formal.
What can I say? I'm really trying to be... okay.
Be modest.
I'm trying to really be modest. And it reminds me of... the period that people take dating before they actually commit to a relationship. People have dated for, and you have children. I consider this dating because, but the constitution changed. Remember that if you have been with someone for 6 months, consider that's your wife. Whether you have proposed or not, that's your wife. So please, kama unahesabu until month 5, date 28, to do away with her, you better be doing it now. But past 6 months, it's considered as your wife. Maybe he had his own reasons why he proposed after 14 years. People have their own reasons to that. But my opinion, 14 years was quite a long time. But if you were already living as man and wife, I think it was just solemnizing the relationship. That is my take. That's my take.
As we conclude this segment, due to the constraint of time, ndaga kuacha na barua moja. This guy, this is our second story, and this guy was giving a heads up to his family on the fact that he's going to be introducing a second wife. Na aliwatumia email. Oops. Akasisi in-laws hapo. Now, the subject of matter is introduction of a new family member. Message inasema hivi. This serves to notify the family members, in brackets, especially my wife, that I am intending to bring in a new female family member on the 12th. She will be received at this particular hotel. Then thereafter, she will immediately assume her duties as my second wife. Her name and other details will be revealed at the reception date. All family members are expected to join hands and cooperate on this matter, or wait for radical sanctions. And B, your options are only limited to acceptance or disassociation with the family. Thank you, head of the family.
Let me just say something.
Tunafunga hii story.
In 15 seconds, at least aliwa inform.
Or acceptance or disassociation.
That is what we call passive aggression.
At least he did the information. He passed it down.
Formal introduction, you guys.
It's either you accept
or you disassociate yourself completely.
There's no but anyway. maybe I may be very one of I say watu wakae kwa lens zao, si tuanze kuona hii mambo yenye inafanyika Karen na nani na Samido zikipanda kama wewe ni the other woman. And I'm saying this loosely.
Kaa kwa lens yako.
Watu wakae kwa lens zao.
On that note,
na when you're missing in action, waendelee.
Or killed in action.
Those who got killed in action, wenye ni mission
wale wa mission possible, mission success.
Mimi watu wa MIA niko tu sawa.
Tufungie show basi.
Tunamaliza na hiyo story. Tumemalizia hapo. But anyway, we'll be keeping tabs on what is happening in Kabushai as well as Matungu. Remember, this is a litmus test, as analysts have said. Show of might. Who has power? Who can move the masses? Maybe this is just going to give us a sneak peek of 2022. All eyes and ears are on ground, so do keep it right here for those updates in our subsequent bulletins. You've been watching Good Morning Kenya. I'm Regina Manyera, and this is KBC Channel 1.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Your mission of winning over Takshashila.
No, Father. Not yet. There is still one task left.
We are left with only one choice. First Ashok, followed by Dharma, and if at all need be, then His Highness as well.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Juhudi za Rais Uhuru Kenyatta za kulinda na kuimarisha maslahi ya Wakenya kwa kuangazia uhalifu wa kila aina ikiwemo ufisadi ni muhimu katika maendeleo ya taifa hili. Wiki hii kwenye Project 254.
We cannot be a country anymore where those who work hard are robbed of their profit by those who are too lazy to invest and produce.
Ofisi ya ODPP imekuwa ni mojawapo ya zile taasisi Kenya ambazo zinashughulika na masuala ya kisheria.
Rais ajue lolote afanyalo kupiga ufisadi kwa haki na ukweli, ana uungwaji wa mkono wa Kenya.
Next on.
Afaulu ama amefaulu yule ambaye anaiongoza nafsi yake, na amepoteza na amepata losses yule ambaye anaiachia nafsi yake iwe ni mwenye kumuongoza.
Ukishaizoesha nafsi yako kumwabudu Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala kwa sura alivyokuamrisha Mola Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, basi hivyo ndivyo nafsi itakavyokuwa ni yenye kwenda.
That's the power of remembering Allah. It's the best way to purify your heart.
Next on.
SMS zimejaa hapa kutoka juu mpaka chini, hakuna maandiko.
Nikuulize Pablo.
Hiyo simu hata nikwambie nitavunja.
Utavunja?
Nimeboeka sana bana.
Tafadhali kuachana na hiyo simu kwanza.
Ngoja kidogo kwa.
Mama simu sasa.
Utangoja nimalize simu yangu ama nikuhudumie? Kuna hospitali jirani huko unaweza enda. Na wewe umetoka kula takataka unakuja kuniletea hapa.
Unajua? Saturday yaandikangu hivyo.
Ni nini wewe? Kwani unasoma message zangu?
Uniungwana kweli? Nauliza tabia kama hizo, haswa nyinyi wadaku wa kuangalia simu za watu na kusikiliza maneno ya watu wanavyozungumza kwa simu, ni ungwana?
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Oh man, he's sick.
It's good to see you back in the church, man. Help offset all that bumping and grinding you've been doing in them videos.
How long did you know about my father?
I didn't feel it was my responsibility to tell you about your own father.
We're here with your father doing God's work. This will always be my father's church.
Why don't you let church people handle church business?
I'm an entertainer.
That's not who you are. That's what you're in.
Look, let them fight over it. I don't care.
But it's your father's legacy. Who's gonna fight for it if you don't?
Truly, I've been through a storm and rain. I know everything about heartache and pain. But God carried me through it all. Without His protection, I'd surely fall. I've been broke without a doubt.
This is what I used to occupy Samuel Silong's time before he found his groove in the hockey field.
Joining hockey was a mysterious journey. I started casually. Actually, I was sent out of swimming team. Then, due to desperation, I decided to join hockey.
He made it happen at the Friends School Kamusinga, where he found his position as a keeper.
I joined Kamusinga in 2015 as a Form 1, but hockey, I joined hockey in 2016 in Form 2. I used to play in the field. I wasn't a goalkeeper, but in Form 3, I became a goalkeeper. I was the second goalkeeper. That was my predecessor. He's called Glenn Chanzo. I was his assistant. Then in Form 4, I was the main goalkeeper. Actually, I maintained a clean sheet from district level to regional levels.
It was not in vain, as he's managed to save them from some blushes both locally and regionally.
In 2015, we lost in the district level to Chesamis High School. 2016, we were champions at national and East Africa Games. We were the champions. In 2017, we lost to Kakamega, to Musingu in Kakamega, and in 2018 we lost to Musingu again in Kamusinga.
He singles out Musingu as their toughest opponent, who've given him a hard time on the goal lines.
As a player, I saved a lot of goals. We went to flicks with Musingu High School. We lost 1-0.
All in all, Samuel Silong stood out to find his way to the national under-18 team, where his biggest assignment was the 2018 Youth Olympics in Argentina, before he sat for his Kenya Certificate of Secondary School examinations, hoping to succeed in both.
We are expecting to go and perform, to show them that there is hockey in Kenya. Competing with global opponents will be an exposure to us, an exposure as a country, as a team. And we must show them that we have hockey in Kenya, so we are expecting good results. It's challenging, but we have support. We have support from our coach. He gives us exams, he gives us lessons when you are off pitch. So we balance, we read.
And for those who are interested in the sports arena, this is why you should consider field hockey, according to some.
Hockey is exciting. You get to meet people. It's like a hockey family. We meet people whom they will help us in life. Yeah, it's enjoyable. Join hockey and you'll never regret.
We at KBC wish Samuel Silong and all the other candidates success in their respective examinations.
Fanya hivi, wewe teremuka tu chini. Hata watu wanangojea unasema unione. Si ninakuona ndio huyu kucha. Kucha ninakuona.
Yoi.
Nimekuita mara ngapi Kate? This is the Nissan Note.
Hii ndio motoka.
Not that this is the Nissan Note we are giving out.
Na ni rahisi sana kuwekelea bid. Unaenda kwenye lipa na M-Pesa. Unaweka paybill number 4032353. Kisha unakelea account number ya Nissan Note ni Note, N-O-T-E. Namba ambayo unapenda, labda unapenda 100, labda unapenda 200. Wekelea Note 100, Note 200. Alafu tutakuitisha shilingi 40 peke yake, 40 bob only. Weka pin yako, utakuwa umekelea bid ya hii Nissan Note. Inakungoja wewe mahali popote ulipo. Mimi na mtumishi tutakupea.
Ili kupata skiza tune ya Ero uko sure kwa simu yako, bonyeza alama ya nyota 811 alama ya nyota 967 alama ya reli.
Ero kijana, ni mimi ulikuwa unatuangia hii simu ama ulikuwa umeconfuse? Fanya hivi ndio nijue uko sure. Kwanza kata hii simu, alafu uangalia kama ni mimi ulikuwa unapigia. Kama ni mimi, upigie tena na tangoja. Usikawie, ninakungoja hapa nikichunga.
Ukitaka kupata skiza hii, bonyeza alama ya nyota 811 alama ya nyota 967 alama ya reli. Alama ya nyota 811 alama ya nyota 967 alama ya reli.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Your mission of winning over Takshashila.
No, Father. Not yet. There is still one task left.
We are left with only one choice. First Ashok, followed by Dharma, and if at all need be, then His Highness as well.
On the next episode of
Saida.
Toba. Takuficha wapi sasa?
Saida fungua. Yaani Saida hufungui?
Mume wangu, pana subra.
Dawa wote hasemi chochote?
Hasemi chochote, kazi yake tu kutafuta tu.
Huku ya hema kama lori.
Huku ya hema kabisa nakwambia, leo mpaka kanywa maji.
Kwani rafiki yangu? Kwani leo ulikuwa mficho wapi wewe? Ulikuwa mficho wapi wewe?
Wewe vipi mume wangu?
next on
I will drag you myself to the police station. But but Tiff, ni mimi.
I have screenshots.
This is really good.
I know. We can...
But useless.
What?
I'll call you.
Usijali. Juu pia sisi tunaweza mcheza.
King of the truth, has your brother told you everything?
Glenn,